fitness equals freedom. Fitness gives you the tools that you need to live a long, healthy life and live it fully. I have to end with fitness is essential. Go out there, stay fit, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and live a good, long life in health.
Carlosas Bricame! Hey, thank you for joining us for episode 46.
Wow, we're almost hitting 50.
I know, that's so close. Thank you for joining us today as we bring you a show focused on fitness and nutrition, which is something you guys have been asking for. Our guest today is Sophia Konugres, who brought this quote to my attention from Hippocrates. Greatest medicine of all is teaching people not to need it.
Ooh.
And we hope you don't. And I'm your host, Bob Staver. I'm here with my co-host, Aurora and Rosa. And Aurora, who do we have on the show today?
First, we have musician and host of Facebook fitness and nutrition show, Get Up, Aris Papasideris.
And we will be learning how to make a healthy version of the Greek classic Halva with group fitness instructor Sophia Konugres, who will also talk to us about nutrition for optimal aging.
Ooh.
I need that. That'll work for me. That works good. Hey, thank you everybody for joining us. And we will have, we may be having some technical difficulties with Hadis, but as soon as he's available, we'll bring him on. But in the meantime, we would like to introduce you to fitness group instructor, Sophia Konugres, who's got a lot to teach us today.
Hello! Kalimera! Kalovradi, I guess, in Greece, right?
Right. Well, ευχαριστούμε πολύ. Ευχαριστούμε για τη φιλοξενία. Και όλοι να τα περάσουμε καλά σήμερα. So we're going to learn a lot. We're going to learn a lot from you. So, I wanted to talk to you about.
Let's talk.
Can you hear okay? Is it in your ear yet?
No, I don't have anything.
Oh, I didn't give you anything?
Oh.
I thought I gave you something to put in your ear. There's
the other one.
I don't see. Oh, there it is. Sorry, guys. We had some technical difficulty here. I thought I handed this to you. But you
I think you just grabbed it.
You handed me a present.
It's fine.
It'll come on in a couple of minutes. Hey, Sophia, let's talk about your journey into health and fitness, because you know it's kind of been interesting because you've been very fit because you've been a dance instructor. With FDF, the Greek dance groups, even before FDF. You've worked at a variety of different locations throughout your career. And this wasn't your original path in life.
That's right. Yes, that's correct. It wasn't at all. Let me start from the beginning. How about that, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So that was when I was 3 years old. Okay. My baba, my dad, in the village, born in Greece, Lusika Patron, yay, represent. Yay. That's that. Sudane. He would put me on the kitchen table and his pareja would come over, friends, family, and I would dance for them. He'd put Greek music on and I would dance for them. So I always say I was the original opposizer. Before it became opposize, before we knew what opposize was, right? So I started I always loved, kefi and just Zoe, Hara. And from there, of course, we immigrated to the States and then dancing, socially, right? Then FDF started, okay? FDF, the Greek Folk Dance Festival. Many of us that are watching are very familiar with it. One of the best ministries in our faith, in our Greek Orthodox faith. Very grateful to have it. So I was one of the original FDF dancers, if you will. And from there, I was, you compete, right? So that was the Greek dancing part of it, culture, faith. And then I was a director. I taught a few different dance groups. And then when I became a mother, oh my goodness, 25 years ago, almost 26, my kids went through their program as well. And so that's how I started, you know, that was more competing in Greek dancing. But I mean, like I said, I've been Greek dancing all my life, teaching people how to Greek dance. And it just gives me such pleasure and purpose seeing other people happy. So from there, I segued into, let me back up because I can't not mention Jack LaLanne. Okay. You guys are girls, you're too young. Now I'm really dating. Okay, I'm really dating myself. Jack LaLanne. Wow, he was like the godfather of fitness, right? So after high school, I wasn't, I had 3 months before college. We were going to go to Greece. I got a job at one of the original Jack LaLanne's, okay? And I was at the front desk, and I thought, this is really cool, right? Went to Greece with my family for 3 months. Wow, I'm going to learn about health and nutrition, and I want to live my best life. And I'm just going to study nutrition on my own. And when I went to college, I didn't study nutrition. I was in human resource management, got my bachelor's in that, right? So then fast forward, it was when Yanni was born. I, at that time, decided I saw what was on the market. There was really nothing healthy in terms of, good protein cookies. And I was really obsessed with cookies. I'm like the cookie monster. Okay. I make every kind of cookie there is. So I decided to make my own healthy cookie with grainless. This is before gluten-free was a thing, right, you guys? We didn't even know that we needed to be gluten-free, right? That we had this issue at times. So I went ahead and started this cookie. I kind of reverse engineered that, which is what we're going to do in my halva recipe. And I made it very, very healthy with omega-3s, put some protein powder in it. I was ready to distribute it. I thought, okay, this is what I'm going to do. Well, when I went to market it to some big chains, I won't mention, but they said to me that, I need a year shelf life. And that's when I realized, wow, a year shelf life, how can that be healthy? How can something that's on the shelf be something that I want to put into my body with all those preservatives, right? So I knew there was a need for that. Then I was busy with the kids, raising them, and I was going to go ahead and get my certification then to be a personal trainer. So this is like 1999, good year, right? 1999. And so I started studying nutrition, but somehow I went over to the side, ventured over to getting my real estate license and started selling real estate. So then we moved from Los Angeles to Orange County, and then I revisited it. I was a member of 24 Hour Fitness, okay, as many of us, are. And so at that time, I said, I'm going to start getting back into the gym. The kids are older now, a little me time, selling real estate. You can always, make your own schedule pretty much, right? So I started attending classes because I'm known as the rah-rah girl. So I loved group fitness. And I realized, wow, this is just giving me the caffeine when I Greek dance. And it's really a party when I'm doing group fitness. And this was a dance fitness format, which is called UJam Fitness, which is now changed to World of Dance. Okay, still very popular. Boy, I made some of the best friends that to this day I'm in touch with. And, we well, other than COVID, but we see ourselves virtually online. And, I found my passion and I loved it. It made me feel so good and energized. And I just really felt like I was just having fun. I wasn't really working out. So, I want to make sure to say that when, people ask me, what's the best workout? It's the one that you'll do. That's the best workout, right? So I realized I wanted to do this every day. It was an adrenaline high. And then something else came my way. I applied to be a flight attendant. Very random. Talk about midlife crisis, right, girls? You'll know one day soon. So
not too soon. Not too soon.
I thought, I mean, I'm too old. I'm not going to get a job as a flight attendant now. But what the heck? Let me just fill out the application. Well, because I was told that the chances of me getting a job as a flight attendant at this age is like getting into Harvard. So I thought, oh God, I couldn't get into Harvard, right? So I applied, I get the job, I go off to the training, and it was like an 8-week in Texas, and it was pretty rigorous. And then I had an unfortunate situation. I had to come back, be with my husband and make sure he was healthy, etc. And I did not pursue that, but I got to share this with you. I said to myself, if this doesn't work out and this isn't meant to be, I'm going to go and I'm going to try out to be a instructor at 24-hour fitness. I'm going to audition, and that's what I'm going to do. And I told myself that. So I did. So I got the job as an instructor, started with 24-hour fitness not too long ago. And, it was just, honestly, it's one of the best. It's not even a job. I mean, when you're passionate about what you do and you love it, it's really not a job. So I started working there, teaching UJAM Fitness, three different locations at the time. And after that, I thought, I want to continue to get some more CESs and maybe get a few different formats under my belt. So I went ahead and became a silver sneakers instructor, which is for the gracefully aging population, which we all hope to be, right? And talk about purpose. Wow, you guys, that's been really rewarding. So then I had a few classes there, actually 4 classes, 4 different 24-hour fitnesses. And then after that, I went and got my, because I love cycle, some call it spin, but I'm certified with Schwinn cycle. So becoming a cycle instructor. And then actually when I did become a cycle instructor at that time, I was ready to teach. And that's when the gyms closed. A year ago, March was technically my last class. I'll never forget March 15th. Yes.
Well,
yes.
So I always ask people this, is it, because I always try to look for the good out of something. Did COVID give you more time to reflect and maybe become more creative in your approach to fitness and into nutrition and things like that? This is a polite way of asking, did you give you more time to cook healthy?
Yes, but also to be unhealthy, because mentally, right? No, seriously, though.
Right. Yeah.
Wow, it was a game changer. It affected us and has affected all of us, right? In different ways. And so for me, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't lose my mojo, because that was what really got me up in the morning. That's what got me pumped, right? Teaching those classes, seeing those people living their best life, bringing happiness, and them saying, gosh, Sophia, I'm able to walk better now. I lost my balance, but I got back up thanks to your classes, because we do functional right training and such. So yes, it was boy, the first month was really tough. I was literally, you can ask my husband, I was bouncing off the walls, literally. I have a trampoline, so I was doing that. I made sure to get outside, get the vitamin D going, right? And sunshine, thank God we have that in California. And so, wow, it was really an unforgettable experience.
Well, a lot of your fans are on the show, and
Yeah.
saying how amazing you are. Like, I don't know if you can see them. Like Tia,
so sweet.
Tia's on the show, and she says, Tia says, "You're amazing, Sophia. So inspiring."
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
Look, I think we're all here to learn from one another. Knowledge is power. I hope to that we educate our kids from a young age to read labels, for example, right? That's so important. Yeah. Anytime you pick up something, you read the label. What are you putting into your body? Because you really are what you eat. You really are. Yeah. And that can mess with your hormones, anything from your thyroid, your blood sugars. We'll talk about that as well, because that's super important. Your insulin, right? Because really, that's what is missing, I think, in America. We have the sad diet.
Well, people. I don't want to get into COVID or anything too deep, but they look at drugs and they look at all these things, but nobody talks about nutrition.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is what. Yes. So
yeah.
We haven't had that conversation, and I don't like to be on my soapbox, and and I try not to even go about it on Facebook, quite honestly. But why aren't the scientists. We listen to the science, but the medical industry, why are we not having this conversation about how unhealthy us Americans are, right?
Yeah.
So this has been kind of a pet peeve of mine. And it seems like it's just, not, it hasn't been mainstream. Mainstream media is not talking about it. We know if we keep our insulin level stable throughout our life, we should do that throughout our life, not just for diabetes, but just to feel better, right? And so those are the things that aren't talked about. Our immune system, that's how we shield ourselves from viruses, from diseases, right? The Western diet, it just really, it stands for Standard American Diet. Think about it, SAD. It is sad. And then right? And then the word diet, I really don't even like to use that four-letter word because it has die in it.
That's why I avoided it. I'm using nutrition now.
Yeah.
I use nutrition when I talk about this stuff.
Well,
it makes me feel better. Yeah.
Well, it's a way of life. So it's a lifestyle, right? That you can incorporate in part of your daily life, like brushing your teeth. So, if you want to live your best life, you need to think about what you put in your body and getting your heart rate up, getting some physical activity, whatever it might be. You don't even really.
Yeah, before you go there, Sophia, can I just pause you because I want you to. I kind of want to explore some things a little bit more. And there's Panayotis Kokala, Chef Panayotis is watching right now from Nafleon. And one of the things that they do is they help, the villages that our grandparents grew up in and great grandparents grew up in were very kind of sustainable. They're sustainable villages. They didn't use the sort of things that we see as common in our food. And I don't know if you've seen much of this, but I've seen this sustainability in Greek villages starting to take root in Greece. And that's sustainability really means creating food that is more healthy for you.
Right. Well, here the farmers are subsidized, right? Right now, actually, I was just reading that these industrial oils that are really bad for us. Okay, they really, really are. Not every oil is created different, as we know, being from Greece and our extra virgin olive oil, right? So they're pushing that, and the corn, the soy. This is all GMO stuff that is horrible for our body. It does havoc 10, 20, 30 years from now, and it gives you inflammation. Okay, inflammation is one of the worst things that can happen to your body. And that will make you more susceptible to viruses such as COVID, et cetera, right? So it's unfortunate, that because it's all about, it's a money-making thing. And I pray that we get at a place here where everyone can afford good quality food, good quality organic food. And, we're lucky to grow it. We have great soil here. We have farmers markets, thank God. But how wonderful would it be if everyone and anyone can afford good quality food, not just having to go to Whole Foods to get it, right? And spend, an arm and a leg.
Exactly.
You're right. And that's one of the things. We've had two organizations from Greece right now on the show. Both of them have, I've kind of been seeing this thing flip where, they can try to make, a ton of food for mass market, or you can focus on something that's more sustainable, more nutritious, and kind of go after smaller boutique markets, And I've seen that kind of shift in Greece after 46 episodes of this show.
Right.
But Sophia, let's talk about about the food that you're going to make for us today. And some of the ingredients and how you source them, and what got you thinking in terms of, hey, this is a common Greek dish, one my would have made, but how do I kind of make it more nutritious, something that's more sustainable for my body and the things that I do?
Yeah. So how do you decide what to swap?
What to what? I'm sorry, to swap?
To swap out.
Oh, okay. So my goodness. Okay. Good question, by the way.
Yeah.
And I'll go into it more when we do the demonstration, right? But with that said, so here's the thing. One thing to know that is really important is refined sugars, high fructose syrup, all that stuff, out the door, right? Clogs your arteries, raises your glucose, etc. Refined grains as well. Some people don't even realize that whole grains can be refined as well, right? So we want to make sure at any age to keep our blood glucose, as I mentioned, at an even keel, right? So we look at the glycemic index. This is why I swapped out regular table sugar. I'm using maple syrup, or you can use there's a few other ones. So I played around with a lot of it, reverse engineered what sticks together better so it doesn't fall apart, because there's different types of halvas, you guys. By the way, we can pronounce it halva or halvas with an S. It's in the Middle East. It's popular, as you know, India, Afghanistan. I mean, everybody has kind of their own little play on it. And what's interesting is it's kind of known as a candy or like a dessert. But what I did is I kind of reversed engineered by taking out those sugars that just raise your blood sugar up, right? And putting in there maple syrup or monk fruit. We'll talk about that if you ask what monk fruit is. So that keeps you satiated, and it's also good for focus when your sugars, are at a good level. Also, too, coconut oil. If you've heard of MCT oil, that's really, really good for you. It does not raise your cholesterol. There's studies that have shown that over and over, and it helps you again stay focused and stay satiated. So I make it more like almost like a protein snack, dessert slash protein snack, right? And then on this one, I put protein powder in it. And, look, you could put that in, you could not. But here's what's great about it. It's almost like having like a nice little decadent, in between meal snack, maybe after a workout, before a workout, right? That keeps you nice and full, but yet not feeling like you ate too much and you can't work out. So that's what I think you're going to find about this. And what's great too is it's optional. You want to put nuts in it, you can. I'm putting pistachios today. You want to, you have a nut allergy, don't put the nuts in. I'm also putting some coconut in it too. So there's a lot of really good nutrition dense products that I'm putting in that will make it not only tasty, but will give you the nutrients you need.
Sophia, let me. I'm going to help Hadis get on this. So I'm going to leave you guys just for a second.
Okay.
But I'll be right back. You guys continue asking Sophia questions. I'm going to see if I can help Hadis with this.
Okay.
So I was going to mention too, when the lockdown, the shutdown happened, a year ago, and I lost the best part of my day, which was teaching at the gym, and those smiles and those hugs, and just felt so rewarding. And, because I'm just passionate about it. I found myself literally running, like trying to get out. And, luckily we had some bad weather, if you remember in the beginning, maybe April, right? Some rain, which made me just want to stay home and bake. But when I would get out, I'd run at the lake, and I'm not really a runner per se, a power walk, jog. But I found myself running and just trying to be out. And then my local park, I would literally run around this tree, but then instead of running, I started Greek dancing. So like they did in Europe, if you saw in Italy and in Greece, they were out of the balconies dancing in their high rises. Yeah. Sometimes we don't have high rises here. We just got 2-story, right? And, and my neighbors might think they think I'm crazy anyway. So I was literally dancing, doing my Greek dancing there, and I had my headphones in, and it was just such a good feeling, because then again, you're feeling like because we couldn't be out in society. I still felt connected. Connected. And it was really helping with my feel-good hormones, my endorphins, my serotonin that we need to get to the brain, right?
For sure, yeah. So what advice would you give somebody starting their fitness and nutrition journey?
Oh boy. Well, first of all, as I mentioned, number one, read the labels. Read the labels. Think about what you're going to put in your body. Don't worry about if it's weight you're trying to lose. That will come by living a healthy lifestyle. That's really what happens. That just kind of it goes that way. If you think about being healthy, not saying, "Oh, I want to lose weight. I need to do this," and don't even worry about the scale. Remember, muscle weighs 3 times more than fat, right? So when you have muscle on you, you're going to be a little heavier. That doesn't matter. I decided not to get on the scale, especially during COVID, because it starts dictating your life. So if you just think about being healthy and feeling good, it's about how do you feel, right? It's about how do you feel. So I would say just do something, some kind of movement every day, whether it's, taking a walk, something to get your heart rate up. And you want HRV, which is heart variance. Okay, you want to make sure heart rate variance, so that your oxygen is going to the brain. You want to go ahead and make sure you're also hydrate yourself. And the thing too, I don't know, is I was going to talk about this. I don't know later. If Hadi's is coming on, Bobby.
Yeah, he's running about 15 minutes late.
Oh,
and
okay.
so he'll be
Because I
on
was going
about
to
15.
chat with him about what if they're doing this.
Right.
Free.
But I was going to say,
Because-
Sophia, do you want to save some of that stuff for him and maybe show
Yeah,
us
yeah.
your recipe and then
Oh,
come back?
okay, sounds
You wanna
good.
do that?
All right,
Yeah,
I'm all
because
set.
that way we're not going over.
Let's
I
do
mean,
it.
say some of the
I'm going to
things.
take you to the kitchen.
Yeah. Oh, there you guys
Our
are.
third Konugres on the show.
You can never have enough Konugreses.
No, you cannot.
That's always been my motto.
So let me try to make this a little bit bigger, you guys. 1 second, if I can put my arm in here. Actually, here, 1 second. Let me turn this.
Yeah, you may have to speak up a little bit, Sophia.
Oh, sure. Let me see if I can. Okay, very good. All right, so let me put this a little closer. How's that? Can you hear me better now?
Yeah,
better?
that's better.
All right, let me put I'm not yelling, I'm great.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, my apron.
Let's do this where Sophia. There you are. We want to be able to see you.
With that said, we are going to be making a very, very yummy halva or halvas, which is known basically all across the world. And what we're doing with this is I'm going to first give you an idea of the ingredients that I'm using, and I'm going to bring them up to the camera so that you guys can make sure to purchase these if you like. I want to make sure you can see them. You can make your own tahini paste, but I would recommend not doing that. I've done that before. It's a little messy, but sesame seeds, rice paste. This Trader Joe's one, you guys, is really yummy because it's already blended fairly well and it doesn't take as much blending. The one at Sprouts that I used was etsy ketsy, as we say, not that great. So I like that. Here's the traditional one, okay, that you see pretty much in a lot of the Mediterranean, Middle Eastern markets. And then another little fun fact here. Okay, who's heard of coconut manna from the mother? Coconut manna. So this
I have
really,
not.
I haven't heard of that.
This
No.
is so good for you. Okay, this is like brain fuel. I'm telling you right now. It's like an MCT oil. It satiates you. You can go out for a run and never come back. Okay, this stuff is so good. But what's easier to blend is regular coconut oil. So your regular coconut oil, we're going to make sure to make it soft. We soften it, and then we use that. And I also put some rose water. That's kind of fun. Oh, and someone asked me where I found Lily's chips. So they commented on Facebook. So where'd you find it? So Whole Foods always has them. So does Mother's Kitchen, and now Sprouts has them. The reason I use these, you guys, they do have a little bit of alcohol, sugar, erythritol, which does not spike your blood sugar. So that's the beauty of that. So I do recommend these. Anything over 70% dark chocolate is really the best. Okay, because again, that is more of a nutrient, versatile, right? Okay, so with that said, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So let's first start off. I have my tahini in here, and I will let you know how much I've put in. Now, mine is a fudge. I call it a fudgy type of a halva. So I put in 2 cups. Okay. By the way, if you buy this one, it's 15 cups. So That's what's nice about this. Or 15 ounces, I'm sorry, 15 ounces. So, all right, so we have our tahini in here, right? See how it's nice and soft? That's super, super important. So after that, we're gonna take our maple syrup, half a cup maple syrup. One caveat I wanna mention, if you choose not to want it as fudgy, you can add in the monk fruit I mentioned, and I have my monk fruit, right here. So let me just quickly show you what that looks like. This is monk fruit. Now, it has a little bit of a crunch to it, unless you get it more of a confectionery, okay? And you may ask, are those considered, you might ask, are those considered sugar alcohols? Yes, they have a few of them. The ones you want to stay away from would be like sorbitol, anything with the tol at the end. Anything that is artificial like that, but monk fruit is from a tree, just like stevia. So those are fine, okay? So we're gonna put this in, and I already have it out. So we have our maple syrup here. We're gonna go ahead and just put that in and mix it all up. And you wanna get a good quality maple syrup. So this is a pure maple syrup. This is pretty low on the glycemic index. It's 50, okay, which is half of what regular sugar is. So that's important. Mm-hmm. So again, we're trying to make this so it's healthy and it's nutrient dense. So that's what we're doing here. Now we're going to go ahead and put in our coconut. Okay, so I am using this one because it does melt a little easier. So here it is here. Can you see everything okay in the camera?
Yeah, you look great, Sophia.
I'm not used to looking at this little camera thing. It's not talking back to me. So, all right.
Yeah, people have been commenting, like Vaso Dolas Conley says amazing. Constantina Konugres says looking great, Mama. I love this recipe.
Oh my gosh.
Maria Batala says, I agree with you 100%. I say, let's be proactive with our health rather than reactive.
There you go. Yes, you know what? We are in control. We forget that. Our body can fight off things if we're healthy, and that's what it's all about. It really, really can. We don't give it enough credit. God made us who we are so that we can protect, our bodies from the inside out, and that's really important. So anyway, back to the recipe. Vanilla. Now this is the pure vanilla flavor. This is really important too, not just the extract. So you want to get pure vanilla. You know what else is yummy is vanilla bean. It's quite expensive.
Oh yeah,
it's kind of nice.
Vanilla bean,
so
yeah.
I
think I need it for my coffee.
Teaspoon. Okay, so this is the vanilla. Smelling so good, you guys. I wish you were here to smell it. It smells really good. And you know what?
You're not going to bring some over?
Oh, come
on.
This virtual stuff, I'll tell you. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and put in the rose water. Again, this is optional, you guys. I just love the fragrance of this. It's really big in Greece. Oh my gosh, I love it. I have a tea that has rose water. It's so yummy. If you've never tried, have you guys tried rose water?
I have.
I haven't.
Oh, good. Oh, and I've had it in some Greek yogurts too. So we're going to put the tablespoon. If I don't tell you, please remind me to tell you how much. Alrighty. And then from there, we're going to go ahead and put in, so we put in the coconut, we're going to go ahead and put in the pistachio. Oh no, first I've got the coconut. So I decided I'm going to make this even more nutrient dense, you guys, because hey, we can never be healthy enough, right? So
yes.
I went ahead and put in coconut because it gives it that really yummy, kind of flaky, fudgy taste. So I'm putting in the coconut as well. And this just makes it more dense. The other thing too is, how much coconut? That's a good question, right? How much coconut? 4 tablespoons. Unless you want it thicker. But I found that 4 is really just right. And then from there, we're going to add in our dark chocolate chips we talked about. You could also use cocoa nibs. Those are really yummy too. And they're like 100% chocolate. So these are 75%. Okay. And then have pistachios here. Now, you can use whatever nuts you like. If you're a nut like I am, you might want to put them all in. I've done almonds before. Now I'm doing pistachios. So this gives it a nice crunch. So it changes the consistency a little bit because of the crunch. I do want to mention, I'm calling this non-traditional halva because, okay, well, it's traditional. You make it with semolina, right? You know the recipe. It's a very common and popular. It's called semolina, but it's not gluten free. Then it couldn't be gluten free, and some people might have digestive issues with it. So this is why I chose to eliminate that. And often you'll see halva made on the stove, and so they'll put the candy thermometer in there. They heat it up. Mm-hmm. The problem I found with that is it can get flaky and kind of break apart, and it just wasn't the texture that I like. So this is how I came up with this. All right, so we've got everything but a pinch of salt. Now, literally a pinch of salt, literally, for good luck. Yeah, okay. So now we've got all of our ingredients. Okay, this is what let me just show you before we put it in the pan, what it's gonna look like. You see that? And you know what? Let's say that here, let me show you the consistency before I pour it in. So here is the thickness of it. And something that you might also see when, you see halva is it's been put in a bundt cake, like the big fat Greek wedding. Cakey mori. I'm going to say this cakey mori, but I'm going to use the 8-inch loaf. This works out perfect because it's the kind of thickness I like. So it's like a big bite size, right? Like a snack size. And I'm going to put it in here. But again, if you want to use the bundt cake, you can. Lastly, I'm going to put in my protein powder. Just forgot that. Okay, so check it out. We always need protein, right? To keep our muscles strong, okay? You want to have at least 20 grams of protein with your first meal, ideally, right? Whatever time that's going to be, depending on if you're eating first thing in the morning or maybe you're intermittent fasting, and we can talk about that later. One of my favorites is Sun Warrior. I don't work for any of these, I'm not I don't work for any of these companies, but with that said, I have found this is really good, but I would get the vanilla. So this is a really good clean protein. Now, my fave right now is hemp. Don't get excited. This is not marijuana. It's got a very distinct flavor if you ever had a hemp protein to it. So I'm going to add the hemp. And another suggestion when you make it, is this chocolate. So if you want to make a marble version of my halva, you could put chocolate. That's yummy too, because I've done like a marble before too. So let's go ahead and put the hemp protein. If you put 2 scoops of this, it's 20 grams of protein. The nice thing about that is I kind of figured it out. You're going to get about 3 grams of protein per little slice, okay, of halvas. So let me go ahead and measure that out. Okay. And then, so this gives it, opa! We're going to get hemped out. All right. There we go. So let's mix that in. So again, I would try the hemp first because, it's an acquired taste somewhat in a protein powder. Pea protein is very good too. Have you guys ever had pea protein?
No, I don't think I have.
Oh my gosh. That is really good. And especially if you want to be, if you're completely vegan, no dairy whatsoever, you may ask, if you were asking me questions online, you may ask, can you use whey protein? Of course you can. Now, whey protein does go to your blood sugar faster. It's not as slow as the other proteins, okay? And it might raise your insulin a little bit. You need to worry about your insulin levels. You may want to omit that. But whey is good. I'm going to use, but again, it's not vegan. Also, to collagen powder. Ladies, I know a lot of you are into collagen powders. You can use that as well, but it has bovine, so then it wouldn't be lectin. Okay, so this is it. Yeah. Sure, Sam, you want to come and hold this? Sure. So I've lined this with my parchment paper, okay? You want to line it, and I went ahead and sprayed it with my, love this stuff too, you guys. I love anything coconut. Oh my gosh, those are the good fats. 100% coconut oil. Love this stuff. So I'm going to spray it with this. And by the way, hey, Costco, how about that? This one you get at Costco. All right. So I've got the, let's see, I'm going to get the, okay. So let me get this. All right. So
Sophia, something just occurred to me that we're on Pacific Daylight Time right now. I don't know if Greece has switched over yet.
If who? Oh, I don't know. Who's out there watching from Greece? Are you?
Yeah, can you look it up?
Oh my gosh!
Because that would explain a lot why Hadis isn't on the show.
Well,
yeah,
I have to call one of my relatives. Every Saturday, my mother talks to my Thea in Greece every Saturday. So, I don't know, cousin. You have to.
Yeah, I know. I should have.
Theirs is on March 28th.
Oh,
so
okay.
Right now,
so it's an hour early. That explains so much.
7:45 right now.
Oh, I am so sorry, Hadis. I'm so sorry to everybody. In Greece, I should have. When I said what time we're going to be on, I should have told you guys it would have been 7 p.m. your time, not 8. Or is it?
Yeah,
What time is it?
I was looking forward to having some convo with him.
Yeah. No. Well, the nice thing about the show, Sophia, is this actually kind of works out because, we did a nice interview with you, and now we can kind of go into an interview with him, and
yes. So as you can see here, I'm getting all of this.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
The pan, and the beauty of this, I love things that you can freeze and they're ready. Do you want to get the other? And so what's great about this is, you guys, there's no baking. It goes straight into the freezer for a minimum. Now, this is important, though, a minimum of 2 hours. Mm-hmm. Or you could do it overnight, if you're tempted to taste it, you could go ahead and get it out earlier. But the beautiful thing is you just put it right in the freezer. Can you see here? It's like Jell-O, but it's going to set. And obviously we don't have 2 hours, so I will give you the. Oh, here, 1 second. Let me get this. So this is what it's going to look like. So I've done one already, and this is what it's going to look like when it's out. I'll get you the cutting board, and I'll go ahead and toss it over so you can see. Let me get some of these out of the way. Ooh. Okay, so you flip it over. I'm going to flip it over like this. And ta-da! Am I going to do a magic trick? Ta-da! Nacho. See? There it is.
Oh, that's like magic.
It's a big megalo tomate halvas. So this is a big piece of halvas right here. And I'm going to use my knife to cut it. Now, let's just say you want to take this to go. It's like a protein bar, right? Because it's got so many dense nutrients to keep you satiated to your next meal. You may want to cut just a big slice like this. I'm going to go ahead and cut it down the middle. Okay. Like so. There you go. I've had this, well, actually, this one I made last night. So I've had it in overnight. So, and then cut it this way. And again, you can make these pieces as small or as little as you like. There we go. So whatever nuts you guys like, you can put in here. The only thing I didn't try it with was walnuts, but those would be yummy as well. But you've got so many good nutrients in here. It's just amazing at this little dessert. So now
that looks really good too. Yeah.
All right. So so these are the ones that I made from before, because I wanted to try, just a few variations. Put these in here. This is a piece of cake, right? Great piece of cake. You can have it. You can eat it too.
You know what, Sophia? I'm going to try. I want to I want to do this because we're going to do a fundraiser for Greek Independence Day, and I'm trying to do more foods that are kind of Lent friendly, let's say, and I think that would be a great one to do.
Yes, absolutely. Well, let me try it now, because how are you guys going to know if it's any good or not, right? So I'm gonna my kafezaki, but someone didn't make me any kafezaki, but that's okay. Let's pretend I have some cafe.
Uh-oh.
I still have my tsai, so this is good. So let me try it.
Wow, I'm jealous.
I know, right?
All I did was make that stupid bread.
Wow. So it's really fudgy, and this is why I love this recipe. Because the other ones I've made before, and I've bought and I've tried, they crumble. Do you know, if you have halva, people know it tends to crumble when you eat it. It just kind of goes all over the place. So this is nice and fudgy and rich and decadent. And again, it has the protein powder in there. So you're not just having something that spikes your blood sugar. You know, sugars are addictive. So we really want to watch our sugars. That's what's going to keep us healthy and keep us feeling good, is making sure that our sugars aren't too high. Okay. So, and this is why I came up with this, with some natural sugars, and you know, it's tasty. Cheers.
Amazing.
Yasas, yeah.
And the yasas, yeah.
That's wonderful. No, that's a great recipe, Sophia, and we're definitely going to try that out.
For sure.
Yeah. So let's. So what we're going to do is, since Hadis will be on in about 10 minutes, and really the Greek audience will start in about 10 minutes. At least some of the Greek audience. I didn't realize. Man, I wish somebody would have given me a heads up. I was so off.
I didn't even think about it.
But you know, the nice thing about creating, creating invitation and reminder, in Greece, it would have adjusted to kind of later. I hope. But anyways, I think this will turn out just fine. I mean, it'll give us a chance to spend some time with Hadis. He only has 20 minutes, but.
And I don't know if they make halva fudgy in Greece or not.
Yeah. Hey, Sophia, why don't you go back to where you were before and sit down? It's kind of easier to hear you from there, too. And Tia Canavo says, Sophia, you're a ray of sunshine in everything you do. Love watching you on this cooking show. You are so adorable, and we agree you are adorable. Thank you for sharing your halva recipe. Delicious. Let's see. Tina Papadopoulos says, this was great. Wish I had seen this from the beginning. Tina, you're in luck, because as soon as the show ends, you'll be able to rewatch it on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitch.
Wherever your heart desires to watch it.
And Patty says,
wonderful.
Yeah, wonderful, which is great, because you are, Sophia.
So wonderful.
So why don't we go back on the big screen here and give Sophia a moment to go to her side. Hey, to the people in Greece, I apologize.
We did not even think about
I apologize. I'm so sorry,
that
Hadis.
Greece had a
daylight
savings time.
But Hadis will be on in just a few minutes, and then we'll be able to talk to him and listen to some of his music. He's got a show called Get Up, and real interesting man. He's a musician. He's into nutrition and fitness. He's got a very popular Facebook show that discusses these topics and brings on chefs and things like that. But he's also in a marching band, and I will tell you what marching band he is in, because it ties into Greek independence too. But hey, so make sure next week we're gonna have. We will probably have a show on Saturday. I'm not sure, because on Sunday we will be on for 5 hours. We'll be doing a kind of like a telethon, a fundraiser for St. Basil's Greek Orthodox Church in San Juan Capistrano, and to help support their ministries, which include the Greek language and the Greek language school, the Greek dance, and so many other ministries that they have that provide so much wonderful things for people. Ministries that, I know Rosa has been able to take advantage of throughout her life. And we've so we're going to see if we can help support them. Greek independence is an interesting period in time, because there was a time when Greek people were not allowed to speak their language, learn the language, practice their religion. They basically had to go into caves and hide and try to keep these things alive. So it'd be a shame for us to kind of lose all of this just through apathy. So in the United States, for those people listening in Greece, it's not like Greece. There's no government that comes in and builds a church. There's no government that builds a language school for you. We have to do it ourselves. And I think Haris may be ready. Okay, I'm ready. All right. Okay, come in. Okay, let me help Hadi come in. Let me just tell him to. It's kind of confusing sometimes. First time using this.
Yeah.
Press. Oh. Okay. Need to send him the link. Hang on, you guys. Just give me a second, and I will send him the link. And hang on. Just a second here, everybody. Hopefully, I don't lose anyone.
This is all part of our charm.
Yes, this is all part of the charm that goes into this.
Feel.
Yes.
Hometown feel. So we'll just give him a minute or two and let him click the link and come on in. And I'm looking forward to talking to him, because it's kind of I've been going to Greece since '87 on a pretty regular basis, and it's been an interesting evolution to watch the way nutrition and health and fitness has started to take hold.
Mm-hmm.
And it's especially interesting to watch how villages are kind of transforming themselves into, instead of like factory farms, into something more that's more sustainable.
Yeah.
And it's also giving them an opportunity not only to create kind of sustainable products, but also to create a almost like a tourism that goes along with it. So yeah, it's been kind of interesting to watch this evolve. And we've had a couple of people from different organizations within Greece who have kind of mastered this come on the show, and we'll have more. And so our show on the 28th is going to be 5 hours, and we'll have chefs from Greece and musical guests from Greece, and it should be a lot of fun to come in and watch and just kind of have some fun with. And so we are in just a few minutes. It seems like we lost Sophia, but she'll be back. She has the link. In a few minutes, we'll have Hadi's on, and we'll be able to talk to him about. Oh, there's Sophia's coming back. And did anybody? Hey, if anybody tried this recipe in real time, why don't you send us a comment? And if you have any questions you want to ask us about the show and what we're doing, hey, this is a great opportunity to do that. So feel free to jump in. We've gotten quite a few comments, and which is a lot of fun for the show. Mm-hmm. So
the recipe is posted, Nancy. I just saw the comment.
Oh.
The recipe is posted on our Facebook and our Instagram page, so go ahead and check that out. We also have our past recipes on there as well, and you can also rewatch the video after we post it on Facebook or YouTube.
Or Twitch.
Or Twitch. Can you rewatch on Twitch? I don't know how Twitch works,
There's
to
Harry.
be honest. We'll figure it out eventually.
Just give Hadis a second. He's just getting himself set up here. I can see him.
Musical interlude.
Yeah.
Beep, beep.
You know what? I almost had it. I was just a second. Let's just see.
Just has to.
Yeah, I think he just has to hook a couple more things up.
Almost there.
We're getting
Part
close.
of the charm again.
I know. Oh, we lost him.
hometown.
Oh, there's Sophia. Let's say hi to Sophia.
Let me see.
Hey,
Can
Sophia. We're just waiting to add
Hi.
Hattie's
Let
to
me
the
see if I can
stream.
see you.
See if they can.
Oh, can you hear me okay? I just can't see you.
I can.
Then, okay, maybe we'll just close this window. Let's see. Let me see if I can get your faces in there. But you can hear me, correct?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. You were saying something about the recipe?
Oh, somebody just asked where to find it. But somebody asked if there's a way to like switch it to keto.
Oh my
Are there
gosh,
any
okay, thank you. I
Mhm.
was going to tell you, yes, it is keto friendly. I meant to say that, that it is keto friendly. And the reason why is it's basically no carbs. So when you're doing keto, you want to keep your carbs 50 or under. You know, some people do dirty keto, depending how extreme your keto is, right? But I did mean to say that. In fact, what I call these little squares of halva are keto bombs. People that are familiar with keto lifestyle, they call them keto bombs. So, in fact, some people start their morning with a keto bomb. So you can do that with a cup of coffee instead of your MCT oil in it.
Okay.
So can you see me okay?
Yeah,
Because I don't
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's
for
bring
some
Sophia
reason, I
back
can't.
on.
bigger. She's on the side. There you go.
Can you? So you can. Okay, you can see me and you can hear me.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, I can't. A little cooler. So okay, very good. So most definitely, it's totally keto
Let me
friendly.
see if I can help.
And you know, like I said too, let's say that you wanted to put maybe chia seeds in it. I have experimented with that. Actually, the Sun Warrior protein powder that I used, that has chia and flaxseed mixed. So
okay, cool.
So that's really good, right? Because that satiates you. And we found now, studies have shown that it's really the fiber that has a lot of net carbs. So when you take out the fiber, then you can figure out what your net carbs are, right? Without fiber in it. And that's really the net carb. But fiber is so important to have because it keeps you full, keeps you regular.
What protein powder would you recommend that's like lowest on the glycemic index?
Well, so if they have very little sugar and carbs, it will be low on the glycemic index.
Okay.
So said whey, if you want something to go right into your muscles right away, it would be whey protein but that's from milk, so it's not vegan, right? And then pea protein actually works very well just the same. So those are all low in the glycemic index. When you're looking at your nutritional ingredients or your breakdown in the back and reading your label, just make sure to see where the sugar is coming from. What kind of sugar is it? That's super important. And then, there's sugar alcohols. We talked about that a little bit. Maltitol, sucralose, that's not the good one. Those can do havoc to your tummy. for saying it in a nice way, they can give you some symptoms, if you know what I'm talking about. So if you have any kind of, irritable bowel syndrome, that will affect you. So again, the monk fruit, though, erythritol is also a monk fruit. Those are pretty safe, but you may have to start with a little bit to experiment just to make sure that your body does well with it.
Yeah.
And some people, it's trial and error, right?
Yeah.
With the sugars.
Yeah, let me see if I can help him get on.
Any questions?
Does whey protein affect someone who has lactose intolerance?
Oh, okay. That's a question, right? That's a good question. So, yes and no. You're talking to someone who has it. I have lactose intolerance
too.
Queen.
Okay. Yeah. So the whey, because it's not the milk derived itself, usually doesn't. There's also a good one that's egg. It's an egg white protein. But I would say technically no. But it's like, for example, feta cheese. I can eat feta cheese. I can eat goat cheese. Not a lactose, intolerance at all. But other cheeses, they bother me. They do havoc to my system, right? like milk this. So try a little bit of it. Typically it shouldn't, because it's just the way the skim off of it, right? It's not the milk part. So try it and see.
I should.
Yeah, there you go.
I have like severe lactose.
You know, I would joke because I had to go to, I call it Yogurts Anonymous, YA,
Yeah.
because my kids will tell you, when I was pregnant with both of them, we lived in LA, and I used to go to the Big Chill. It's this amazing yogurt place. But then I realized, you know, it's all sugar, right? And then I'd go to Golden Spoon, all these wonderful, you know, yogurt places. But I thought at the time, not being as educated in nutrition as I am now, like I said, you know, knowledge is power. I thought, oh, it has good probiotics. No, it doesn't. They strip all those, right? Because there's so much artificial junk in it. And they pump it up with air because it comes out of that machine, right? And oh my goodness, that's when I developed my lactose intolerance.
Oh boy.
But I was so addicted to it, and that's how I started doing my research on sugar. It was the sugar, not the dairy, that I was addicted to. It would just give me the quick adrenaline, and then it would just crash, right? And then I'd need to eat something else. Then I'd eat more carbohydrates. Then I'd find myself just eating, you know, a bag of chips. Seriously, true confessions, ladies. And so sugar was really doing this to me, and it was changing my mood as well. That's why I mentioned it's like a crack cocaine. It's truly addictive. So if we can eliminate one thing.
Sorry, do you have any tips for like stopping eating sugar as often?
As often? Well, so yes. I mean, look, here's the thing. So many products have sugar in them that we don't even know about, right? Naturally. So there's fructose, which is in fruit, but that can still rise your insulin level. So have a piece of fruit. Instead of having the orange juice, have an orange. Have an apple instead of having, right? Because it has the pectin in it, the fibers we talked about, right? So that's what I would say. And just start slowly getting the sugars out. But read the labels, because so many things that are refined have sugars in them. And some are naturally occurring. That's usually fine if, you know, they'll ferment. But for the most part, you want to make sure not to add sugar to anything. If you try it, you'll find it doesn't need it, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like salt. You know, you see people salting something, they didn't even taste it yet, right?
Yeah.
Right? Oh, it needs salt. Well, how do you know? You haven't tasted it. You know, you see that all the time. So
For sure.
you know, it's sort of it's habit forming, right? So I did, just for myself for fun, I stayed off sugar, complete sugars, just for a few days, and I noticed the difference in my mood, okay, and my sleep. And for example, wine has natural sugars, right? That will affect my sleep, because right away, boom, my insulin levels will go up, and I'll start feeling kind of, you know. So I would just say, Aurora, as far as just like with anything, moderation, including moderation. If you're trying to omit something, sometimes you have to put something else in its place. So fiber would be good. Yeah, less sugar, more fiber, more protein. Make sure you have protein with each meal, right? So you have a balanced diet.
Tina Papadopoulos asks, how about stevia use?
Yes, thank you. So I actually had stevia there to show you. I use stevia every day. I put it in my chai, my tea. Stevia, the dropper, is good for drinks. But Tina, when it comes to baking, I use the stevia that's more of a granular type of, almost like a confectionery sugar. And I can show it. Excuse me, Sam, can you get me the stevia, honey, so I can show it, please? The bag. So I use that. I've gone through a few different ones. And when I'm baking, I use it a lot. And by the way, you want to use half of the quantity that it asks for. So if it asks for a cup of table sugar, a cup of regular table sugar, half of that. This is the stevia extract, if you can see that. This is the dropper. Okay. So this you could use for baking, but it comes in a large, I have it in a large bag, Sam, that I was going to use for the demo, but I went ahead and did the maple syrup just because, again, that's natural. So, for example, my husband doesn't really like the taste of stevia. It's a leaf. I don't really taste it. So, okay, here it is right here, Tina, my girl. Thanks for tuning in, Tia. Miss you living out here. All right, so here it is here. So this is it right here. It has probiotics as well. Okay, and many of these, like this one, have very little carbs. This just has 3 carbs for a tablespoon. Okay, so again, it's not 0 carbs. You know, look, you, like I said, everything in moderation, but it's really low in comparison to regular table sugar. Okay.
Maria Patalis asks, will omitting the protein powder change the consistency of the halva?
So you know what? That's a great question. It really doesn't, but it does depend on which protein powder. The hemp is a little thicker. That one did a little bit. It made it a little bit crunchier, whereas the one I used before, which was pea, a vegan pea protein, that one was interesting because it made it a lot softer and fudgier. And that's where I kind of came up with the fudgy halva. Now, the other thing too is, by the way, if I leave the halva out at room temperature, it will get even softer. So I do recommend that you store it back in the refrigerator or maybe even freezer. It can last up to 2 weeks in the freezer, the refrigerator 1 week. But for me, I eat it all the same day. Yeah, unless you've eaten it all like I do. Unless you've eaten it all. So, but yeah, you play around with it. It's again, it depends on the consistency, as I mentioned during the demonstration. When I made it the traditional way, it would just kind of fall apart, and I don't know, that wasn't satisfying to me. I just wanted it to be ooey gooey. Ooey gooey.
Yeah, I love the gooey consistency, so I'm really excited to try it.
Oh, good. It's so easy. I mean, you saw how easy it was, right? And no baking, one pan. Hello. I mean, right?
I know. Yeah. No mess, pretty much.
Yes. No, I'm telling you, they're like the keto bomb. And I know keto is, I mean, look, it's, I don't really think it's a trend per se. Diets come and go in the States all the time, right? All the time. Yeah. But look, the ketogenic diet, it has a lot of similarities to the Mediterranean diet, okay? Which I've been on all of my life, whether I knew it or not, right? And so, I mean, to this day, my mother still cooks all our dishes. And what I found when I started, family, I would do the same, but I would modify them. So just a little bit. I mean, just a little bit, right? To tweak them a little bit. Maybe, less carbohydrates, right? Maybe put in more protein and just change the oil consistency. Back in the early 80s, you girls weren't even born yet, but or maybe even early 80s, people thought we should not have fat in our diet. So crazy. That was so wrong. That was so wrong. Fat is so necessary for your brain, especially, right? And your gut. Yeah. Actually, for your entire body. But, it's just, I mean, and, now we know the importance of. Oh, are you there? Hello? Oh, yeah. Okay, died. Did I lose you?
No, we got you.
Are you there? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
for some reason, it went dark. No. Let me go over here.
If anyone has any other questions for Sophia, go ahead and leave them in the comments.
Or about cooking ingredients.
Ingredients. Oh, here, okay. Okay, I'm back. Here we go.
Okay.
Okay, hi. Sorry, I said the screen went dead.
No worries.
I was going to touch back. We talked a little bit about, fitness and such. Yeah. And even though now with people are always looking to find some type of a fitness program, right? And what's interesting? We're so caught up in making sure we have that hour workout or whatever it is, that really you can get these little micro workouts, right? Like 10 minutes of HIIT training. I'll get into that a little bit, hopefully with body. And, walking 10 minutes, doing some interval training, some functional fitness, all of that fits into your schedule perhaps easier than maybe the 1 hour. So, many people are worried, I didn't go to the gym today. I didn't get that hour. There's nothing really magical about an hour. 45 minutes, 20 minutes, you need at least 20 minutes. That's ideal, right? But you really don't need a full hour. And then later at night, maybe you're taking a walk, right? So, and I think the key here is just to continue moving, just continue the movement. The Netflix has really been, right, during the lockdown. Oh my gosh. I never even watched Netflix until this lockdown.
Yeah.
I started getting a little hooked on it, right? And it was a nightly thing. And what I would do is get my behind off the couch and just maybe put, a mat down on the floor there, right in our family room, and just stretch or just get my circulation going again, right? My phone roll, maybe do some sit-ups, some push-ups, whatever like that. So I think it's so important to just keep movement going in your life in any capacity, but not necessarily just that 1 hour. I mean, that's great if you can do that. But, we've been, it's been a tough year for everybody with this lockdown and the modifications. And now the gyms, they're at 10%, 10% capacity. That's still pretty low, 10%. Yeah. I mean, I'm looking forward and I'm excited to going back. But at the same time, it's I heard 60% of the people are looking to go back. This is the recent survey that I wrote, that I read. So we'll see. We'll see.
Do you have any tips for home workouts, or which ones you think are probably the best or easier?
Yes. So again, it depends what you're looking to do. If you're, people have limited space often, especially when they're working together during COVID. Everybody's been working in the same room, maybe the same house, whatever like that. So I would say whatever is easy for you. If you have, a mat, that's great, because then you can do things on the floor. If you can put on some music for 10 minutes, right, and do some, high intensity or low intensity training, that's great too. There's so many things online. I mean, wow, there's just, it's that you could just look up any kind of, I'm not going to recommend anybody specifically or anything, but depending on what you're looking to do, whether it's Pilates, yoga, dance fitness, there's just so much out there. I, for one, am more of the camaraderie. I didn't do the virtual online thing when my gym closed down, and I was asked to, many of my members wanted me to, but you know what? You guys, for me anyway, that that one-on-one, that whole group, just being there, the camaraderie you get, that enthusiasm, the motivation. In fact, it's funny. I'll share with you. I took a few classes, supporting our other fitness instructors and stuff. And I found myself like going in the pantry, like working out into the pantry, opening up the refrigerator, answering oh my gosh, I think I'm just too hyper for this stuff, right? I just couldn't stay zoned in for that half hour, 45 minutes. Like the gym, it's the accountability, right? And like, hey, am I going to see you at the gym today? Are you going to be there? So no matter how great, the webcam is, still, in my humble opinion, you're missing that connection, right? That you feed off. And that's kind of what got me in this to begin with. It was the camaraderie, the friendships that you make at the gym, and it was a home. It was home. So I'm looking forward to doing that again. But you know what? God bless those instructors that are doing it. I'm so proud of them. There's some amazing ones out there virtually, and maybe one day I will. I'm looking forward to working for the gym again, doing some park classes at the park. So I think that the fitness industry will always be around. It's just very different now. This was a big shake. A big shakeup.
Do you like products that substitute milk for like coconut. Like, I know that Trader Joe's has like a coconut yogurt that I like to eat because it's like, it doesn't affect my stomach because I have lactose intolerance. Have you tried those?
I have. So look at the sugars on that, Rosa, because again, they may have some artificial ones in there. I don't recall exactly, but I know there's regular sugar, right? And also, too, when you're reading your labels, if it's first on the list, that's the most of what it is. So hopefully coconut is number one and the sugar is one at the end, right? But not always. Often, a sugar is second, and that's just really way too much sugar to feed into your body at one time because it'll spike your insulin. But those are good. I love almond milk, coconut milk. Actually, I did one of my halva recipes with coconut milk, so you can use that, or almond milk. Those are all great. I mean, you can make your own too. Cashew milk is good. All of those are really good. But play around with it. I think that nowadays too, people are substituting so much, and especially being vegan, right? Because people are healthier, they feel better, whatever it is. I mean, I'm not. But but I will say that your digestive system changes, okay?
Yeah.
As you age, it does change. Your microbiome changes. So something that didn't bother you in your 20s might bother you in your 40s, right?
Yeah.
So there's that. Yeah. So
We're still working on it with Hotties. We may have to. We're going to give it. We may have to reschedule with them. I'm sorry, but Sophia, we'll see.
This has been amazing,
trying.
though.
Yeah, he's trying, but at least this will be really easy for me to edit later.
Yeah. Everything has been amazing.
One guest on the show with all kinds of interesting information.
We need to get you back here. Questions.
Oh, you have to come. You know what? Next time I'll come back and we'll do some exercises in my backyard with my TRX.
Oh, that would be cool.
So the other thing is, right, I have my TRX has been great, and you can take it to the park. You can just hang it on one of my big palm trees, and that you asked about home workouts.
Yeah,
that works easily into somebody's schedule, right? You just hang these rope things on your tree and you get up there like a monkey and you make it happen, So 20 minutes. Yeah. So, well, I'm curious because when we do talk with him, I want to definitely talk about Greece in terms of how they're handling the no gyms. And I know when I was,
I'm going to see if he can come in with just audio because this
okay.
Maybe just audio. Yeah.
That would be great.
Eleni says, "Sas para kaluso apolada," which means I'm watching from Greece, and it's nice to see you. Great recipe.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Eleni. Mo nice kala. Kali Sarakosti. That's very nice. Well, good. See, she knew the time change.
She's
so low.
Sophia, I can't thank you enough for being on the show and hanging in there with us and just kind of being on for 2 hours.
Oh, it was fun. I
really
will
appreciate
it. with one thing, and that is, we have the most powerful pharmacy within our body, right? We really do. So we need to tap into that. We need to take care of ourselves. This was a wake-up call like no other. And if people didn't get the message that, the American diet is sad, standard American diet, then I don't know when we will. But truly, this is the time to really come together and, stay strong with our immune systems and just really, I think it's like 66% of Americans have metabolic syndrome issues. And that brings on inflammation and disease that causes a slew of things from diabetes to, heart disease, liver issues, etc. And if we could just cut out the sugar, if I could just say one thing, that would really make a huge difference in keeping us healthy and letting us get back to our loved ones and, get our lives back on track and get right back into society where we were a year ago.
Sophia, these are words to live by. So thank you so much for being on the show, Sophia. We
It was
really
a lot of
appreciate it.
fun. A lot of fun, you guys.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
if
hey, if you like,
you like it,
bye.
thank you.
Hey,
Had a
and
lot of fun.
everybody that stuck it out with us, hey, we really appreciate
And
you
go,
guys.
and go make some halva. Go make some of my halva.
Yeah, go make some halva, and we'll see if we can do better next time. There was a lot of confusion because of the time change in Greece. That was my fault, and we'll see if we can do better. You guys,
Oh, and
everybody,
Zito Alas. Yeah, Zito
Huh?
Alas. Woohoo.
Ziti Elas.
Zito Alas.
And we had somebody from the Greek Air Force, the Hellenic Air Force. So that was kind of cool. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes, like it. Bye. Like it.
Bye.